Before we get started, I'm going to do a quick intro on CFO Connect. CFO Connect is a global community of more than 12,000 finance leaders, powered by Spendesk, which the three of us have been a happy and active member of. So very fortunate to be part of this session today. Before we get started in introducing our speakers on the panel, I wanted to just kick off with some high-level context, right? With the advancements in Gen.AI and LLMs, a lot of money and talent has been pouring into this space in the past years plus. And especially with COVID and geopolitics, we're definitely experiencing a unprecedented systemic shift across many industries. It's been a hot topic for some time, but there's also a ton of noise in terms of where value is actually being created inside these businesses. So what we would like to touch upon today is AI in finance in particular. Is it hype or is it real value? I think the verdict is out and only time will tell. But what we hope to share is some unique perspective to bring clarity and insights into what's to come. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce Paul Jun, GP at Elsa Capital, and Sarah Fu, Angel Investor and Startup Advisor. Welcome. You've both been operators and investors. Curious to get your take on what you've seen historically with the development of data, ML, and also AI, and what you're thinking about all the kind of noise and content that's out there today on this particular topic.
I would say basically when I was in the operating shoes at Stripe, we already see a lot of like ML technology, right? So a prime example is basically forecasting. We all want to make our forecasting as accurate as possible. And Stripe is a very data-driven company. We have a very strong product and engineering culture and very strong data science team. So essentially we were really able to like leverage a lot of the best in class like ML, different type of like models to really make like the forecasting as accurate as possible from different perspectives, so that we could really get into the nuance of the data to understand what is driving the trends, whether that's specific like customer segment, like specific region, specific type of customer. So that was like really helpful for us to provide like the next level of insights to like the CEOs, the business partners. What I would say today is the LLM trend, I would say it's like very, very different. So historically, like all the benefits you get from like ML still applies, but where I'm seeing a lot of like application of like LLM today is just to like rethink a lot of like the traditional workflow, especially before like in finance job, like we all do those things that are like very repetitive, right? Like creating the same slide deck, like do a weekly, like bi-weekly, like monthly refresh, or like building the model and spending so much time on those like repetitive things. So I think like now with LLM, there are just like a lot of like opportunity to do those repetitive things like a lot better. You should think about like LLM as a different form of like technology. Like there are things that were not even possible before, right? Like before it's like I can use like the old ML to make the model more accurate. Use like ChatGPT can even like write code for me, right? So like now in some way, like I'm not only just like a CFO, I could even be like the data scientist or like the engineer in some extent to make the job of like CFO a lot more powerful.
And Paul, what are your high level thoughts on everything that's going on?
I see it impacting like two areas the most currently. One is kind of FP&A and forecasting, and Sarah touched on that a little bit. I think it is improving forecast models to some extent by being able to ingest additional data or being able to more efficiently write some of the like code for writing those models. Two would be like accounting. I've seen it help with categorization, processing, better rules engines. So I've seen both kind of like the accounting and the FP&A side impacted by the latest AI developments.